This is the A to Z podcast. I'm Anthony Zanni. I'm here with Grace Conrad. She goes to Sparta High School in New Jersey. She's a senior and she's a badass softball player. Grace, nice to have you here. How you doing?
Thank you for having me.
All right, Grace. I wanted to start with your personal softball goals for this year. Obviously, I want to know about the team. How's the team looking going into the year? Are you excited? Is it more of a championship type or bust type year? And what are your strengths as a ball player?
I definitely feel like we're going to have a good year. We only lost 2 people last year, and while they were great players, it's much better than the year before where we lost 7 people. So I definitely feel like our team is going to do very well, and my personal goals are to just have a better season than I did have last year. I personally had so much fun last year, and it was one of my first years pitching for my high school team. So I was very happy for it being my first year, and I just want to replicate it or be able to do even better than I did last year. Always looking to improve.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the mark of a great ball player, is always looking to improve. I'm happy to hear that you have high aspirations for the team this year. I'm excited to be following along, and hopefully you guys do really well. Do you have a new coach going into this year?
We had a new coach going into last year. She was our assistant coach the year before, and she actually played at Sparta High School, and she played Division I softball.
That's awesome to hear. So you get along well with her. You think she's a really great coach?
Yeah, she was just at my signing day. She's such a nice woman, and she's very close to our age, so it's such like a friend atmosphere that everything's always fun when she's there, and she has such great insight for everyone on the team, for the girls who play at other levels, for the girls who just do high school. She, I think, is a great all-around coach.
I think that's extremely important to have a coach that you get along with and respect. I'm really happy for you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful year in that regards. I want to shift a little bit towards where you see yourself in the next 10 years. You're going to Fairfield. Congratulations on that. That's a fabulous school. But let's skip Fairfield for a second. Where do you envision yourself? Where do you envision your life in the next 10 years?
Um, I think that I definitely envision myself still doing something with softball, because it was my first love of anything, and I have never gotten tired of it throughout the years that I've been playing it. I'm not sure. I'm going into college undecided, and I'm not sure what I want to do career aspect. So I definitely know, though, whatever I will be doing, I hope to be a pitching coach, because again, it's my first love, and I'll always love pitching. And I have so much knowledge on it that I would love to teach the younger generations how to pitch and hopefully make them successful as well.
That's awesome. I can't even fathom what it's like to pitch. So that you can teach us how to pitch. That's incredible. I don't know how you guys do it. It's incredible. It really is. What does a typical day look like for an athlete such as yourself?
Um, a typical day while I'm in school is usually I wake up around 6 a.m., I get ready, I head off to school. It depends on the day, obviously. Right now, our school is, or our coach wants us doing softball workouts in the weight room of the school. So sometimes after school on Mondays and Wednesdays, me and the 2 other captains will go there and lead workouts as well as help the other girls. And then I pitch 5 to 6 days a week. So usually I go to school, I then work out usually every day after school, and then I come home for about 2 hours to do homework, study, eat, and then I go and head out to pitch with either a catcher or to like a wall or to a 9 hole, and then I come home, go to sleep.
That's quite the day. All to be an athlete in high school. That's also why you got into Fairfield. Do you want to tell me what made you choose Fairfield?
That's a great question. I all around love the school, and everyone tells you not to pick the school you go to for the coach, and I did not, but thank God that it's the coach that I have, because Coach Brzezinski and Coach Ponce and Coach Reinhardt. They're such a lovely staff and they're just amazing. But the school wise, I had never heard of Fairfield before they reached out to me, which is surprising because they're only an hour and a half away from where I live. But the second that they reached out to me on September 1st, I looked them up. It fit well academically for me. It was around right where I wanted to go athletically. I wanted to play Division One, but I was never someone who yearned to go like Power Five. So it fit basically every aspect of what I was looking for. And then when I visited the campus, it was by far one of the prettiest campuses I'd been to. It's right by the beach. So for me, it just fit so many aspects of what I wanted to go to. So I'm very happy with where I am.
I'm happy for you. I mean, it's a wonderful school, as you said. I think you're going to have a lot of success in that school. I wanted to know, what role do you envision yourself at Fairfield? And is there an opportunity to compete right away for playing time?
From the conversations that I've had with my coaches and how I've seen them handle other upcoming freshmen that are pitchers, is they give people a chance. And if I do well with the chances I'm given, I will continue to be given those chances. There was just a pitcher, not this season, but last season, who came in and she was showing to be a great closer. So she kept getting that opportunity and she kept showing up. So I think there could be a similar situation for me where I'm hoping to be given a chance and I'm hoping to run with that chance and do well to be able to help the team go to success. So I definitely think that I will be given opportunities because that's what they have done with other people in my position. And I want to help the team with my position as much as I can and lead us to victory.
Those are great answers, Grace. And just based off your answers alone, I know you're going to be successful. Is there a coach or an athlete that you look up to as a role model? And if so, why?
I have always looked so I my pitching coach, her name is Jillian Stevens, and she played at Villanova. Um, she is someone that since I've been going to, I admire how much she works and the ability she has to honestly teach. That she is someone that I have looked up to since I've been going to her. She has been so successful in her career and she went to a great school. And she played at a similar level that I did. So she's been someone that I have always looked up to as a player and as a person. I hope to be able to be as successful as her one day.
I have no doubt that you will. Can you rank the top 5 priorities in your life currently?
Of course, always up there is softball. I That's one of my biggest priorities. And then as of right now, school as well. I'm always keeping on track, or I'm always keeping up with my grades. Always studying, always doing my homework, no matter how hard it gets. My family is a huge priority to me. My mother, my father, they are my biggest support system, and I always try to be around as much as I can and hang out with them whenever I can. Going with that, same with my friends. It's always hard to be able to get around with a schedule that I have. But when I do have free time, I like to keep up with my friends and hang out, and they're a big priority to me. And with that, also working out is one of my largest priorities because with softball, it's not just practicing pitching, but it's also keeping my strength up. So I always try to be in the gym, go to my trainer. So that's probably that's probably the five biggest priorities of my life.
Good to know. That's really awesome, and especially with the parents. I mean, that's a big thing. They every good parent gives up so much time and money to watch their child pursue their dreams. Is there a way that you show your parents that you appreciate those sacrifices?
I do think I do. Me and my mother are very close. I would consider, is one of my best friends. And when I'm home, or even if I'm not home and I'm pitching, she's always with me. So sometimes after pitching, we'll go and get food, or we'll go and get a drink and we'll just hang out and talk. If I'm home and I have my homework done before I have to go pitch, me, my mom, and my dad will hang out in the living room. We like to watch movies together. So I appreciate everything they've done for me for years, not even just with softball, but they have always tried to give me everything I could have in life.
That's awesome to hear. You're a very down to earth girl. It's incredible because most people don't reach that until later on in life, and some of them don't reach that at all. So it's good to hear where your priorities are at. This is always a fun question to ask. Can you describe your worst sports performance of all time? And then what did you learn from that experience?
I have to think about that one
Oh, take your time.
because, of course, with every athlete, there's always failure.
Yes.
And quoting every coach, softball as well as baseball is probably the biggest game of failure
Mhm.
because you, with a batting average, like, can have an amazing batting average, but if you like look at the weekend, it doesn't feel like you did that great. So from my aspect, there has been many games that I have not done well. And a lot of the time too, because I'm the pitcher, a lot of it can be blamed on me because I'm the one throwing the ball. But I would have to say, I don't know if this is my worst. I just can't think of anything else. Um, I was not being played a lot, so I was already struggling mentally with trying to and then when I was playing, I wasn't doing well. So mentally I was trying to, when I got the opportunities, to do well with it. And there were so many pitchers on the team, so we were all getting good time. It was just a struggle because then when I got my time, I didn't do well with it. So there was this one game where I was in California. And so the hitters are great. Everyone playing there is an amazing athlete. And I was going in relief and I started out great. I had two outs. I think one of them was a strikeout. And then I think the other one was a pop out. And then there was a grounder where the girl just beat it out to first. So there is one person on, and then I think I walked someone. So there were two people on. And then I was still feeling very confident. I was like, okay, you got this. And I threw a pitch fat right down the middle, which is everyone's worst nightmare. But I did it, and they hit a home run. And it was a 3-run home run, so it was not good for my team. Um, I don't know if I'd say that's my worst, but it happened quite recently, so it's one of the ones that I can still think about. But reflecting off of that, it was probably because of my mindset within that season. And I've definitely grown from that and learned how important your mindset is because in past games, if you can learn to shake stuff off, nothing will get to you. So I definitely think that that's my mindset coming out of that and like reflecting on those games. But right now, I think that's probably one of the games that sting a little still. But
The ones that are recent are always going to sting and stay with you, and it's really, it really is. I'm not just saying this. It's pretty crazy to see because you're such a young woman that you're already very mature in the game of softball. I'm 39. I've played baseball my entire life. I coach baseball. I've been coaching since 2007. So I feel like I got a good grasp on the game, and obviously they're pretty similar, but it's very rare for me. I coach 16-year-olds. It's very rare for me to have mature men think the way you're thinking about the sport. So you're way ahead of the game, which is what I'm trying to tell you. It's really fascinating to see that. So congratulations on that regard. I really do think you're going to have a wonderful career. I think you're going to tear it up in Fairfield. And I just really have one more question for you, and that is, what have you learned about teamwork from your past experiences on teams? Like you had made a mention before that you and two other captains. So I'm assuming you're a captain. that's impressive. Like people, they don't just hand out the captain badge for everybody. So you're doing something to show leadership. So what have you learned about teamwork from your past experiences being on teams?
Thank you, first of all. And yeah, well, I feel like, yes, I am a captain for my high school team. Um, I feel like something that should be more known, and it's said a lot, but not a lot of athletes fully grasp, is the not importance of teamwork, but that it's a necessity. And that while baseball and softball are very individual games, if you're a shortstop, you are responsible for fielding your position, but you're also responsible for when the second baseman makes a mistake to help her feel better so that the next play, is her mindset's okay so that she can make that next play. And I feel like throughout the years, seeing people who have been able to pick people up or have gotten down on themselves when they've made mistakes is that if someone is not mentally doing well during the game and no one is making an attempt to help them, you should be the person to do that, because it needs to be at least one person on the team helping another person. Because especially with that, your team will never do as good with each other unless there is teamwork and love within the team. And the way you build love in a team is being there for each other, which is teamwork. As well as teamwork of the aspect in the game. Teamwork is everywhere. The catcher and the pitcher. What people say, are the batter. I've been told that all my life. I have a friend who doesn't even play softball anymore, but she was my catcher when I was in 10U, and we still reference like the battery to each other. And it's just a bond that girls have that you need teamwork for. Like, it's everywhere in the game, and if you don't use that advantage, because lots of teams, like national teams who girls are from New Jersey, but then girls are also from Georgia, they don't have that as much. So if you develop that connection and then you use teamwork on the field, you will be unstoppable. And I feel like that's something a lot of athletes are told, but don't fully like understand how important it is.
I could not agree more. Like I said, you're with it. You're with it, kid. You got a bright future ahead of you. This has been the A to Z podcast. I'm with Grace Conrad. I wish you the best of luck in Sparta this year, and I wish you the best of luck in Fairfield next year. You have a very, very bright future ahead of you, a very fun career that I can't wait to follow, and I can't wish you any more than the best of luck.